Now we will going to discuss if there is a forward shift of demand, chain effect. What will be the chain effect if there is a forward shift of demand? Initially we are taking the price 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Initial supply is 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Initial demand is 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Now forward shift of demand means increase in demand. Now I am increasing the demand from 10 to 20, from 20 to 40, double it. 30 to 60, 60 to 40 to 80 and 50 to 100. As I have increased the demand, initially the equilibrium is happening here when there is a supply, initial supply and initial demand, the equilibrium is happening in 30 and 30. As I have increased the demand, as there is a forward shift of demand, the equilibrium is now happening in where? In 40 and 40 when the price is 4. Now the price has increased as I have increased the demand. So when there is a forward shift of demand, what is happening? There is an excess demand. How? See, Q, this D1, dx1 is the initial demand, dx2 is the second demand when there is an increase in demand, and x, Sx is the initial supply. As I have increased the demand, so equilibrium has shifted from Q to F. Now it is equilibrium is happening in the F point. Earlier the equilibrium is happening in the Q point. As I have increased the demand, so if I take this position in the case of a demand, initially it was 3 and now price has gone 4 as I have increased the demand. So if I take this D2 demand and if I take the price 3, I am taking the demand, this one, and I am taking the price 3. Here Q and H is happening in the excess demand. See, if I go by this logic, initial equilibrium is happening here. Now, if I take this position, according to price 3, and the supply is 30, see, এদিক দিয়ে দেখে নেই এই যে এটা Q and H, why there is an excess demand. If I take this price 3, my supply is how much? 30. My increased demand is how much? 60. So supply is less than demand. So supply is less than demand, it is an excess demand. So it also proved here with the graph. As
Q and H are different stuff.
Because if I take price 3, I am considering the D2. D2x means this demand. So if I take this price, the supply is 30. 30 is in everywhere. But the demand has increased from 30 to 60. So here there is an excess demand because the supply is 30. Demand is 60. That is being represented by QH. QH. If there is an excess demand, to accomplish that, there will be an excess supply. How? See, earlier the equilibrium was in 30. Now equilibrium has happened in 40. So price has shifted from 30 to 40. Expansion of supply. The supply has expanded from Q to F. Q, this is the supply curve. It has increased from Q to F. Q to F. Expansion of supply. And if there is an excess expansion of supply, what will happen? When the supply increases, what happens? Price increases. The price has increased from 3 to 4. If the price has increased, then there will be a contraction in demand. It means, see, initially equilibrium is H. Now it has become F. So this is the dx. Or if you go by this line, earlier the demand was 60 in case of D2. Now the demand is how much? 40. The demand has shrinked, has reduced as we have shifted from price 3 to 4. We know price increases, demand decreases. So the demand has decreased from 60 to 40. So therefore there is a contraction, and the contraction is being represented from where? From H to F. So overall situation when there is a forward shift, and conclusion is that due to this change, the price equilibrium is happening at 4 and quantity equilibrium is happening at 40. Earlier it was in 30 and 30.